Now, let's bring some sunshine for a moment, shall we? Because we're talking Kylie, Rick Astley, Bananarama and Steps. We are, of course, talking about the music producer Pete Waterman, who is behind dozens of chart-topping hits throughout the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and now his music will take on a new life. It's going to be on the stage. It's a show called I Should Be So Lucky, the musical. It's created by award-winning writer Debbie Izzard. Let's remind ourselves of some of those iconic tunes.
The acts that he was aiming to emulate had been discovered by Pete Waterman. With his partners Mike Stock and Matt Aitken, their company is a powerhouse of pop.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and...
It doesn't really matter what you put me through, you'll never stop. Robert De Niro's waiting, talking Italian. Robert De Niro's waiting.
Delighted to say Pete Waterman joins us now alongside musicals writer and director Debbie Izzard. Morning to you both.
Morning.
Pete,
Can I just...
Go on.
I didn't write that one.
No.
That Bananarama one.
Oh, which one?
That's not me.
Robert De Niro's waiting.
No,
that
it's
wasn't
not me.
you.
That
Oh,
one. Sorry about that.
Well,
You've got quite a few to your name, though.
Yeah, but not that one. Just in case the girls are on the phone when I get off.
that was someone else. It didn't sound like one of yours, to be fair. Pete, that is the soundtrack of so many people's youths, basically. What made you think that the time was right? Because I know you've had offers before.
Oh, yeah.
The time was right to make this into a more of a theatre experience, a musical, a story, to tell the story with the songs.
Well, you see, my hair's receding. So as my life runs out, I thought I'd better get it in now before it completely runs out.
Stop. That's not why you're doing it.
No, because, it felt right. It felt right, because people stop us all the time and say, you were the background to my youth, and, at some point you say, well, it's time. And it is time.
And how do you make sure that there's songs that we all have a connection to, we all hold in a certain place in our heart, and we soundtrack of our youth? How do you make sure it translates to the stage? Because it's quite different skill.
Well, it's very difficult. I mean, that's why Debbie is important, and because we can look at the music, but we've never done a musical. I mean, this is whole new territory for us. It's a completely different way of looking at the songs. And we know the songs the way the audience does, but you put it in a stage context and it has to be different, because people are there to go for a live experience. They're not, they know the records, so there's that very fine balance between theatre and what the public know that song as,
That's a really good point, Debbie. So how do you do that? How do you take the audience with you if they've got this song which is like has a special place in their memory? How do you take the audience with you and make it part of a bigger story?
Well, for me, I listened to the whole back catalogue. I grew up with them as well. They were the soundtrack to my life. But I listened again, and I kind of let the songs tell the story rather than the other way around. So I didn't kind of write a story and shoehorn the songs into them and hope they fit. I really allowed the lyrics and the music to kind of take my imagination and came up with this story about love, really, because so many of the songs were about love.
Go on, tell us the story, because it sounds
We're giving a hint from the picture here.
Yeah.
So tell us the story.
So it is about a young girl who gets jilted at the altar and takes her whole family on a honeymoon with her. And on the honeymoon, everyone is transformed, not just the jilted bride, but everyone discovers new love relationships or discovers how they feel about old love relationships. Everyone changes. It is a lovely, uplifting story. I think it's really funny and really good fun, but it's also quite emotional. And I think the songs are amazing because when you shine a new light on them in this new context, you realise there's so much depth there, actually, and really emotional, yeah.
Go on, Pete, what do you think?
Well, that's the point. The point has been, and we have been approached quite a few times to do, it's the lyrics in the song. I mean, the lyrics are so important because that's what we were writing for. We were writing for emotional, parts of people's lives. That's why they were never going to give you up. It worked because you can believe Rick when he sings it. If he didn't believe the lyric, it wouldn't have worked. And I mean, Glastonbury this year, arguably...
Wasn't it amazing?
He stole the show and,
he did.
Go back 30 years, everybody said he wouldn't last 3 minutes.
And it's the feel-good in these songs, isn't it? And you want to launch this show, in the winter? Matt's been telling us how miserable the weather is right now, but
really
in the
bad.
midst of cold, dark winter in this country, it feels like a bit of a boost we might need.
It's bringing sunshine to the nation. You know, we're opening in Manchester, which is amazing, in November. It will be dark by day.
it'll be raining.
We
And it'll
can
be
guarantee those two things.
Nothing bad to tell us about
But
it.
we are bringing the sunshine. And
You
even
don't need a weather forecast.
even in Leeds at Christmas, we are bringing the sunshine. So even our Christmas show is going to be this wonderful escape to a holiday destination
Torquay,
with all
did you
these
say?
fabulous Turkey, not Torquay.
Oh, that's what I went wrong. I thought.
All these fabulous songs and this lovely story. And I just think it's so relatable. You know, the family situation means that there's somebody that everyone can relate to in this family, trust me. And I just think it's a really feel-good escapism. It's just going to be so nice.
And Pete, I'm right in saying you need to start rehearsals, right? How far through of the process? So you've written it, it's written, and you've got to start
rehearsals,
getting it on.
yeah.
So it could
And it will
mean-
change.
I was going to
Go
say
on. It will
yeah,
change.
how? What do you
Well,
think might
I mean,
happen?
the clip you've just showed with
Yep.
I Should Be So Lucky, that's changed quite a lot from the first time that Debbie, that we saw it. Because when you put us in, because we're very precious about these songs, because we know what they meant. So it's that balance between actors singing it and then it going into the track that that the audience at that point are all going to jump up and start singing. We must be the only musicals going on there where we say, if you're sitting in your seats, the musical's not over. We want you
interesting.
singing.
Interesting you say that, because there's been some controversy, hasn't there, about people singing in theatres, taking over and singing too much, and it's not a karaoke, it's not a sing-along. Are you saying yours absolutely is? You want people to...
It's a joyous occasion.
Yeah.
We want the actors to enjoy it, but we want the audience to be immersed in the whole thing and be part of it. It's their wedding too.
And Debbie, how easy was it then to weave all of this joy in with the music that you had to work with? Did it come easy?
I mean, we had the wonderful workshop period, which every musical has, where you get actors together and you work through your ideas. And, that really brings it to life, and it makes you figure out what works and what doesn't work and try and create the right structure and the right emotion. And we had 2 of those. It was wonderful. So actually, we feel quite confident that the story works, that the structure's right. I mean, the songs speak for themselves. They're amazing. So, yeah, we're really excited. I mean, we're nervous as well. It's a new musical, a big musical. Hopes to go into the West End after its national tour. It's a huge deal. So we are nervous,
Yeah.
but we're also really
we're apprehensive,
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a step we've never taken. It's a different taking a record to the BBC to get them to play it than actually to go to the theatre and say, please spend, £30-40 and come and see it. It's a big difference.
And it's an expensive business theatre, isn't it? Yeah, and we want to please people.
You said you're precious and you're quite protective of those songs. When you see those clips that we showed at the beginning, how would you remember that era?
Oh, I
those
smile.
years?
I smile.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't explain what that was like for 5 years of our lives, where we just rode this
Is that all it
wave.
was?
It's 5 years, yeah. Well, it was longer than that, but I mean, the five
crazy
intense
years.
were
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I remember saying to Kylie once, right at the very beginning, when we'd done I Should Be So Lucky, this is like a firework, it's like a skyrocket. Grab hold the stick. I've no idea where it's going, but just enjoy the ride, because it will come down.
Yeah.
It has to in the end. And that period was like a skyrocket. You never knew what was next. A record would go to #1 that you didn't expect to go to #1.
Yeah.
But all of these years later, there's still like a little bit of a sparkle trail from it, isn't there?
Yeah. And, they have all these special Stock Aitken Waterman nights, which are fantastic,
And I think what's really good about the musical is it's set now, so it's a contemporary story, and so there will also be lots of people that come that didn't know the songs, that don't know the songs, and it's a new, fresh audience for the music.
So exciting.
So
good luck with it.
exciting.
Thank you very much.
Really look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, we'll be there, November.
Oh, and Kylie will be there digitally in the show. She's a character.
OK. We'll be there in real life.
Good.
Even better.
You will be singing the loudest of all.
I'm not sure I will.
Those songs are guaranteed to be in your head all day. Sorry about that. Not sorry. Let's get the news, travel and weather where you are. See you in a bit.